Hi guys, welcome back to a new art program. So today we're going to explore a couple of different ways that you can create 3D textures in watercolor. So you're going to need a basic watercolor set, Crayolas, fine, a brush, some water, and some paper. A little bit thicker paper is better. If you have watercolor paper, that's awesome. If not, any kind of thicker paper will do. And we're going to do two different techniques. So one of them, I'll show you a couple of finished products here. One of them uses white glue, so you just need a bottle of white school glue and a table salt to create kind of a glittery 3D effect in the paint. Here's kind of a started project. And then the other one we're going to do is going to create some texture using hot glue. So you need a hot glue gun with glue for that to heat it up. So those are the things you're going to need. And then, a brush for your watercolors. Alright, let's get started. Alright, for both of these projects you can go either abstract or do a design that looks like something, like a tree or a landscape. I'm going to go abstract here. So my first step is just... and I promptly ran out of glue. Let me fix that here. The first step is just to drizzle glue all over my paper. I'm just doing abstract kind of lines here. But you can just do anything you want to do. Whatever you want to draw with your glue. Now you do want to cover a good portion of the surface of your paper, because this is going to be what gives us the texture later on. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. So I'm doing some circles, some wavy lines, kind of geometrics. You can overlap your lines. Okay, and once I have a composition that looks good to me, I'm going to stop and I'm just going to let that glue set up and harden for a moment here. Alright, so once our glue has set, now it's time to add some color. So I'm just going to flood this with different colors. And I don't have any rhyme or reason here. I'm just going to start adding colors all over the sheet. I'm actually just going to work my way right down my watercolor box. And you can see how the glue works kind of like a resist. The parts that you drew stay white. Or, that kind of brownish color that the glue has. So I'm just going to go and fill in this whole thing with the watercolors. And you can already see how that hot glue creates these fun textures. And right next to the hot glue, the paint kind of pulls up next to that, so the hot glue actually gets kind of outlined with darker paint, where the paint kind of puddles next to the hot glue. Alright, I'm just going to go ahead and finish this. There's different ways you can do this. So you can either cut out a shape, caregiver, so you can do that, or older preschools can do it themselves. And then I'm going to take my glue bottle. I'm just going to draw directly with the glue bottle. Just squeeze the glue bottle. So these teach us some motor skills. Now this doesn't have to be any kind of pattern. For like a preschooler, you can just do squiggles, you know, just random patterns with the glue. But I'm just going to go. So if you cut out a shape, these actually make fun little hangers or ornaments. You can do a star, you can do, you know, hearts, do diamonds. You can learn about shapes by doing squares and rectangles and circles. So there's all kinds of options. The other option is that you just use a big sheet of paper and put your glue squiggles on there. It doesn't have to be on shape paper like I'm doing here. So there you go. So I'm sprinkling salt all over my heart here. There we go. And so now you can either let that dry as is and then shake the salt off, or you probably end up with some bigger chunks, so you can just quickly shake off your salt and then let it dry. So that's what I'm going to do. Now this can take quite a long time to dry, so this is a fun project to start on one day and then finish on another. Right, so here is my dried little heart cutout. So now I'm going to color it, and this is where the fun part starts. So I'm going to take my brush and load it up with a color. So I'm going to start with orange. And you want your brush pretty wet. So now I'm just going to run my brush over the top of where the salt is, and it soaks the paint right in. So now I'm just going to use some different colors. See, so you can go vary your colors and just kind of run it along the edge of your salty ridges on your painting. So now I'm going to switch to some blue. If you miss and get some on the paper, not a problem. It looks fun too. Alright, here's some purple. Isn't that fun? Look how that kind of runs into that salt just like by magic. Okay. I'm going to do some of the dots here around the edge that I haven't colored yet. Okay, there is my finished heart. I go close up, you can see that sparkly fun texture. Wanted to show you guys really quickly that if you have a younger preschooler and their fine motor skills just aren't there yet, you can just brush the whole thing with one color and you're still going to end up with a really, really fun art project because the salt just kind of attracts the color, and you still have those sparkly ridges, and then you have the fun blue background or whatever color you choose to make it. So there you go. See, this is just brushed on with one color, no fine motor skills required. So have fun with it. Alright everybody, so that's it for today. So we learned 2 new techniques. We learned how to create a sparkly 3D texture with salt and glue. And we learned how to do a really fun, kind of strong resist type texture with a hot glue. Okay, so again, just remember that your art doesn't have to look anything like my art. You can use those new techniques and apply them any which way you want to create your own piece of art that is all yours. Okay, so they don't have to look anything like mine. So just have fun with that, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.